Because when we go through the previous chapters of First Peter as well, we can see that there is kind of a layers of authority which we should be subject to as Christians. And first would be Lord the Father, and then comes the rest. In terms of human authorities as well, we should be submissive to them. And when it comes to a church, we should be submissive, except from the elder, we should be submissive to the elder in the church. And they should counsel the church according to the will of the God. Because the only exception that he talks of, like, we can resist or we can this authority when we have been asked not to obey God. So if there is a law or a system in the country that says like we shouldn't obey God or follow what is written in the gospel, then we should disobey that, or we shouldn't be submissive to that. Because we can see that in the book of Acts as well, like when Peter and the other disciples, they said they will only obey God, not rather than man. And that's the only exception. Like when we have to live as a Christians in this world, we can accept that when we have been asked not to obey God or follow the gospel. And he asked the younger people in the church to be clothed with humility, for God resists the proud and give grace to the humble. As we see, like when we live on this earth, we have that natural behavior of expressing ourselves, which shouldn't be there, and we should be clothed with humility, because that's how God has brought Jesus Christ onto this earth. Because he himself was the God, and he came down onto this earth and he made himself as nothing for ourselves. So we have been created in a way that we should follow Jesus Christ. That is the reason why, like, we should submit even to human authorities, or to the elder of the office in the church as well. The only exception is like we shouldn't be submissive to anything that allow us to disobey God or to disobey what is being told to us through the gospel. Because what actually stops us from being submissive to these either to the elder or in the church or to the human authorities is our pride, that all these recognitions that which we achieved in this earth, because we don't realize that we achieved it through our own, like we achieved it through God. Like whatever, as born again Christians, that what kind of possessions that we hold, or what kind of jobs, or what kind of earthly possessions that we have in this earth is all given by God. So we should have that humility rather than thinking like we own this. Because that's the reason why he says like we should be clothed with humility, and God give grace to the humble rather than God resists the poor, proud actually. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in the due time. As we see in the life of Jesus Christ as well, when he came down onto this earth, he eventually made himself as a sin in order to save us. and he made himself as nothing, and in the due time God has made himself as superior, as the most superior thing in the universe, because he like rises from his death on the third day, which is impossible for any other human to achieve. So even that is what is going to happen to the Christians or the born again Christians as we live in this earth and all these chaos which we see around in the world, because he will exalt us in the right moment or in the right time. We have been asked to live a life as similar to Jesus Christ. We have to be submissive to God first, and then comes the elder of the church, and then to all the human authorities. And his time comes, and when his time comes, he will place us in a secure life where there is no death or there is no pain, in the eternal life. And casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. And it is evident, like when we live on this earth, like we face trials and tribulations or all these anxieties, so it is he who cares for us, and he carries all our burdens upon himself. So we don't need to work off towards achieving something or getting rid of something, because it is only Jesus. He can bring that relief to us in the right time, because as we see in this world, like we see people who is working hard to achieve something. We as born again Christians, we don't need to do that. We just have to be faithful to God and leave it to God, and he will give it to us when the time comes. Like worrying about something or being anxious about something to achieve something in life or to gain any kind of possession in this life, it is actually not meant for us. It is actually meant for the public. As born again Christians, whatever we need or whatever our anxieties or whatever the pain that we feel, it's all have to be brought up to Jesus Christ, and we just need to let him take over that. So, and he will give us the relief, or give us all the glory when the time comes. And he speaks of the end time as well, like be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. Because we cannot accept the public or the rest of the world to be like nice to us, because when we are towards the end of that time, we can see a lot of things that's happening around which is inhuman, or which is not kind to the society or to the humans. So we have to be mindful and we have to be alert, because what the devil is going to do is, like, he's not going to take away what God has promised for us, but he can make our faith weaker by understanding or by seeing what is going around in this world when it comes to innocent people, to the lives of innocent people. Like, as we see a war, it's not just between the authorities or between the leaders. They will escape at the end of war. It's only the humans and only the innocent people that suffer, or their families suffer. And it all means, like, it is towards that, it is all giving us a warning, that because we have to be mindful and we have to be alert, because it is that this evil devil doings or something like that. And God will have a plan for all these kind of evildoers in the end time. So we don't need to act or take any revenge upon them, or do we need to act in these kind of things? I don't think we do. We don't need to. We have to be mindful and we have to pray about it, because God will always have a plan. He will have a when his time comes, there will be a judgment for all these people who is committing these kind of things in the end times. I'll just finish by reading one verse from Proverbs 3:34. Proverbs 3:34. I'll read from 33 onwards. Chapter 3, 33 onwards. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just. Surely he scorned the scorners, but he gave grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. We can clearly see that the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just people, and he give grace to the low, to the humble, or people who show that humility when it comes to their behavior to the public or to the community. And the wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of the fool. Because that is clearly what his message to all these things that which is happening around the world at the moment. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, and blessed the habitation of the just. So clearly there will be a time when the people who is committing all this kind of wickedness in this world will have to be shameful in front of when his time comes, and that is something that we need to keep in mind, because we should not be disturbed or disheartened by seeing all these things, because it happens according to the will of the God, and he has a plan for all these wicked people who is